Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into the world of personality today. We've got articles, research, the whole shebang,
This is going to be fun.
ready to explore this thing that makes us, well, us.
Definitely. And it's way more than just like, are you a fun person or a serious one?
Right, not just those labels.
More like a unique fingerprint, like it's your thoughts, feelings, how you act, all that together.
And the cool thing is, that fingerprint, it kind of sticks with you, right? Over time.
Yeah, pretty much, which is actually super useful. You can kind of predict how you'll react to stuff
Oh, that's interesting.
and even get a better idea of what makes other people tick.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. But where do we even start?
Well, a lot of researchers use frameworks like, to organize it all. The Big Five is one.
Oh, the Big Five. Is that like those online quizzes with the,
Some quizzes use it,
I
yeah.
always get the sloth.
Well, those are fun, but the Big Five is actually used, seriously, by researchers, companies even. It's like, imagine 5 primary colors, but for people:
So wait, what are those 5 colors?
openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
5 big words.
They mix and match, like on an artist's palette, to make all the different personalities.
Gotcha. So everyone's got their own blend.
Exactly. And what's wild is you can use those traits to, predict stuff.
Predict. Like what?
Well, employers use it sometimes. Say you want to hire someone super organized for a big project.
Right, you need someone reliable.
You'd look for someone high in conscientiousness, means they're usually responsible, detail-oriented.
I get it. So it's like matching the personality to the job.
Yeah, kind of like that.
But wouldn't it be too simple, though? Just 5 things to describe a whole person.
Oh, for sure. The Big Five's got limits. It's a good start, but there's more, like the Hexaco model.
Hexaco, that's a new one for me. What's that add?
Well, it adds honesty, humility. It's about how sincere someone is, fair, modest.
Huh. Honesty. That feels important, especially these days.
Totally. Research shows it can predict, ethical behavior, whether someone's trustworthy.
Makes sense for leaders, relationships, all that.
Exactly. And then there's the dark side of personality, so to speak.
Ooh, getting juicy now.
Not saying everyone's got it, but there's this thing called the dark triad.
Dark triad. Sounds intense.
We're not diagnosing anyone here,
Right.
okay? Just looking at tendencies. Everyone falls somewhere on the spectrum.
Okay, good to know. So what's in this triad?
It's narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Basically, when they're strong, they can lead to some manipulative behavior.
Ooh, manipulative, you said it. Now I'm really listening.
Okay, so narcissism first. We hear that word a lot.
Yeah, it's everywhere these days.
Right, and self-esteem is good, but narcissism is self-love on overdrive,
So those people who are just obsessed with themselves.
Basically, yeah. They need admiration, think they're super important, and not much empathy for others.
Sounds like a few people I know, but doesn't everyone have a little bit of that?
Maybe some tendencies, yeah, but it's not a disorder unless it's messing up your life, your relationships,
Right, when it goes too far. So what about Machiavellianism? That sounds sneaky.
It's named after this philosopher, Machiavelli, who is all about strategy and achieving your goals no matter what.
So the ends justify the means, kind of.
Exactly. They're good at reading people, finding their weaknesses, and using that to their advantage.
So they could be charming, but also ruthless.
Totally, yeah. And then there's psychopathy.
Okay, that one's a little scary. Are we talking serial killer territory?
Not necessarily. Remember, it's a spectrum. Psychopathy is about lack of empathy, no remorse, and often impulsive behavior.
So maybe not a criminal mastermind, but someone who takes risks, doesn't think about consequences.
Yeah, they might be into extreme stuff or just not care about rules, lack that emotional depth.
Wow. Okay, we've gone from Big Five to a pretty dark place. A lot to take in.
It is. And we're just getting started. So far, it's been traits, but there's also personality types, like those online quizzes.
Oh, yeah. Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, all that. I love those.
Fun, right. But how accurate are they, really? That's the question.
You think they're not?
Well, they can be insightful, but they oversimplify things, like putting people in boxes.
So me being an ENFP or whatever, it doesn't tell the whole story.
Exactly. It's just one tiny slice of you. You're more complex than that.
Okay, it makes sense. Those zodiac signs, not everyone's the same just because they're a Gemini, right?
Yeah. We're all unique. But those tests can get you thinking, which is cool.
So, good starting point, but not the final word. What's the big takeaway then from all this personality stuff?
I'd say the most important thing is personality can change. It's not set in stone.
Wait, really? I thought it was like you're born with it.
Genes and experiences matter, sure, but you can grow and develop over time.
That's actually really hopeful. So how do we do that? Like actually level up our personality?
Well, that's the fun part. You got to start with self-reflection, like really looking inward.
So like thinking about myself more than I already do, you mean?
Well, yeah. It's about being honest with yourself, examining your thoughts, feelings, actions, all that.
But how? Do I need to like journal everything and analyze every conversation?
No, not that intense. Start small. Just take a few minutes every day to think, like, what gets you really worked up?
Yeah, okay. Or like, what patterns do I see with people?
Exactly. What values matter most to you, and are you living up to those values?
Yeah, that's a good one. So the more we think about this stuff, the better we'll know ourselves.
Exactly. You start seeing those little things, the good, ain't the bad, and what you might want to, tweak.
Okay, interesting. So it's about awareness first.
Totally. Once you're aware, then you can start making choices about how you ACT, what you want to change.
So it's not just knowing myself, it's like taking charge, actually doing something about it.
You got it. It's about teach. Give you an example.
Sure, yeah, an example would help.
Okay, let's say you've realized you're kind of, critical of yourself and others.
Oof. Yeah, sometimes.
Maybe you'd be high in neuroticism, low in agreeableness, if we're talking big five.
Maybe. So how do I level up that?
First, you got to catch yourself doing it. Like, ooh, there's that critical thought popping up again.
So pay attention to those thoughts when they happen.
Yeah, don't get swept away by them. Just observe. What causes them? What words do you use? What's it feel like in your body?
Whoa, that's kind of deep. But I get it. Like, step back and watch myself.
Right. And then you can challenge those thoughts. Are they really true? Helpful? Or just your insecurities talking?
So, like, is there a nicer way to think about this?
Exactly. It's called cognitive reframing. You're choosing to see things differently, more positively.
And if I do that enough, I'll actually start being nicer.
It can happen. You're changing your mindset, and that changes how you act. You might be more accepting of yourself, others.
That'd be nice. But what if I need help with this whole self-improvement thing?
Therapy can be amazing for that. That's like having a coach, for your personality.
A personality coach, huh?
Yeah, they help you figure stuff out, give you exercises, keep you accountable, safe space to talk to.
That makes sense. But therapy's not for everyone. Any other ways to, like, work on myself?
Tons. Books, articles, there's so much out there about personality. Workshops, courses, too. Find what works for you.
So be proactive, learn, try stuff out. Sounds like it never really ends, this self-discovery.
It's a journey, not a destination. And don't forget, growth often means getting uncomfortable.
Like signing up for that dance class even though I have 2 left feet.
Yeah, you might surprise yourself. Push those boundaries, you'll find hidden talents, build confidence.
Okay, feeling motivated. But what about those dark triad traits? Those kind of scary ones.
Those. Well, we tend to think they're all bad, but even they have some nuances.
Wait, seriously. There's a good side too, like narcissism.
It's all about balance. Little narcissism can give you drive, ambition, makes you charismatic, maybe a good leader.
Okay, I guess I see that. But Machiavellianism, that's straight up manipulation.
It can be, but strategic thinking, being able to read people, those are skills. Yeah. Useful in business, negotiations, even relationships.
As long as you use them ethically, right?
Exactly. Don't be using them to harm people.
Yeah.
And psychopathy, even that has its moments.
Really? But no empathy, that sounds dangerous.
Sure, if someone's completely heartless. But imagine, like, a surgeon needs to be calm under pressure, make tough decisions.
Yeah, maybe in that kind of situation.
A little bit of that detachment focus. It can be a strength. It's about context,
So it's not about getting ease of those dark triad traits. It's about understanding them.
Yeah, and using them responsibly. It's a balancing act, for sure. Needs self-awareness and maybe some guidance.
This is so interesting. I never thought of personality this way. Like, it's not just who I am, it's what I do with it.
That's it. It's dynamic, it evolves, and the more we learn about it, the more we understand ourselves, then everyone else.
We've covered so much.
Yeah.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, there's one area that's getting a lot of buzz. Personality NFTs. You heard of those?
Personality NFTs. That sounds futuristic. Like my personality, but digital.
Kinda. It's like owning a token that represents you, your unique traits, all that, in the metaverse.
Whoa, a digital me. What does that even look like? And what can you do with it?
That's a whole other conversation. We're just scratching the surface here.
This deep dive just keeps getting deeper.
Yeah.
But we gotta wrap up sometime. Any last thoughts before we move on?
I'd say the main thing is own your personality Embrace those quirks, the good and the bad. It's what makes you you.
I love that. It's been awesome exploring all this with you.
Likewise. And to everyone listening, keep that curiosity going. There's always more to learn.
But until then, keep those aha moments coming. This has been The Deep Dive, and we'll see you next time.